The mongrel! Back to this again. This glaring light in here helps illuminate my face a little bit. Another episode of the mongrel. I think I might as well get the seat done so when I take the whole frame to the welders that they can do the seat at the same time. Now, Ed. Oh, I'll be completely honest, I have no idea. Well, actually, no, I do. I tell a lie. I do know what I'm going to do with the seat. I just don't know how. So my idea, in my mind, I've got some 19mm diameter pipes, steel pipes. So I think I might have had a 2.5mm wall on those, or maybe a 2mm wall, I'm not entirely sure. I just know that they're thicker than what I've actually used on the frame here. Now my idea, again, I don't know whether this is a bit too ambitious, but I've got a lot of metal bar that I bought for the Ducati because, as you can see, the Ducati's over there and it'll need bars going across the back to support the monocoque fiberglass frame. So I've got a lot of bar for that, a lot more than what I actually need. But I think it might be 6mm. I think this is 4mm bar that I've got here. And I think the one I've got for the Ducati is 6mm because I wanted it to be a little bit more rigid. But my idea is I can create some system allows me to take the seat off. So it's not absolutely stuck to this. I quite like these little tab things I've put in there. I'm wondering if I put a bracket on each one. I don't know where I'd have the other bracket actually. Up there. I need to figure this out. This is what I need to do. I need to create the bottom rail first and then I need to figure out the top. But if I put a bracket there, a single bracket, then on the other side, another two of these each side clamped or welded onto these, that would then allow me to put a screw through, a bolt through, and allow me to disassemble it. I might try that. Right, first idea, let me try that. So, raise the lamp up a little bit. I have created these little bits here. Really rough because it is a garage build. These are just little kind of U-bend knuckles in a way. So they will clamp on the end of the pipe and then the clamp can clamp onto a single one like that, which will be welded to the frame, and then a bolt through, and there we go. A removable seat. And a seat that I can swap out for anything really. Another way of making something interesting rather than just welding another tube straight to the frame. It's kind of separating the two parts really. Another cold morning. A couple of days have been since I was in here last, and the last job I did was these. So here are, very crudely at the moment, only tacked them on each side, and also you can see all the splashes from the horrible flux core weld I'm using. The idea is that brackets are going to go on there, and then these are going to run straight off. Just as like a neat extension, so I want it to visibly look a different part of the body. I don't want it to be a continuous body. And I think the best way of doing that is by creating these little joins, so it looks specifically bolted on. And this is it. I've got a busy morning ahead of me with work, which is why I'm dressed like this, a little bit more smarter than usual. But before I start my day, I am back in the workshop for an hour with a mongrel. There it is. This is the new back end. It is looking nice, really nice. And you can start to see how the shape of the tank works with that. Because that is actually a lot higher than I admit what I anticipated when I started laying things out. I decided to actually make it that high because I want the seat foam to align with the tank. I know it's kind of going against the grain of a bobber in that sense because the bobber seat should kind of technically be slightly lower. But looking at like the Triumph bobber, for example, the top of the seat comes in line with the bottom of the tank. And I thought, well, that's quite a nice touch because I don't want to be too low down because obviously I want to be able to reach over the tank, and the tank being quite bulky in that sense. I didn't want it to be an impossible feat. I know I've got long arms, but again, I didn't want it to be too impossible. The beauty about this now is I can take this subframe off completely and weld it. This is all just tacked at the moment. You can see some ugly kind of spitting that's been going on with my flux core weld here. I should really use gas, but to be honest, I'm just tacking it. I'm not actually doing any real welding on this. Let's take the seat off. And so this is the end of the Mongrel episode at the moment. We have a subframe here, all tacked up. I guess the next stages of this, along with the main body itself, is to get it all welded up properly. I've just tacked this, as you can see, tacked it. It is still a strong piece, just that it's not as strong as what it should be. But that's pretty neat, I like that. Considering I didn't know what I was going to do at the very start, it's actually turned out alright. Ever changing the shape of the bike as well, you can now see how that tank starts to work with the entire bike. It's not as bulbous and sticks on top as what a lot of people thought. So I guess the next steps for me as well on this is I can make a seat for it. Base, foam, and then upholster it, and I will reveal what I'm going to be upholstering it with in my Instagram posts. And no doubt there'll probably be a video on that in the next couple of weeks, if not next week, depending on how I get on with my videoing schedule. And after I've got everything welded up properly, I guess it'll be engine mounts and also the girder front forks for this, which will be even more exciting. And we'll get some decent tyres on it. And then I think it'll probably be at a stage where the wiring can be done, plumbing, exhaust, yeah. Still quite a bit to do, but not as much as what there is on this Ducati behind me here. If you like what you see, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and also visit footballindustries.com if you want to show your support, buy any merchandise, and then all that money goes back into the channel as well to deliver more content to you guys. So until next week's video, everyone stay warm out there because it's freezing.